So in this series of brain, body, and beyond, we're now going to look at the brain itself, this incredible organ that is between our ears, weighs about 3 pounds in an adult, but is really, really complicated. I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible for you. It's composed of, amongst many other cells, neurons. And these neurons are the main connective cells in the brain. And there are something like 100 billion of them. Can you get anywhere near thinking about that? 100 billion. It's huge, absolutely huge. But each one, in essence, has a long strand, if you like, called the axon. And at one end, you have a whole lot of terminals that join up with other incoming cells, and then is transmitted along this axon. And then at the other end, it branches out, and that connects with many hundreds, if not thousands, of other cells as well. And then if you imagine the whole brain itself composed of all this connectivity, it's incredible. It's way, way beyond the World Wide Web. So its power is enormous. It is divided into two halves, the left brain and the right brain, surprisingly, okay? And I'm going to describe for you these two halves and how they actually work together, okay? So here we go. The left brain, you can see, tends to be the gray side, and it is composed of lots of L's to make it memorable. So we have the fact that it is logical, it is legal, that means it's to do with the law, linear, thinks in straight lines, and linguistic has to do with language. It's also the scientific side, as illustrated by Einstein. It tends to put things in boxes in black and white like this. It also looks at the fine detail through a microscope or a magnifying glass, looks at the fine print, if you like, and also tends to say no to things. Okay, so that's the left brain. The right brain, by contrast, is artistic. Again, there's a bit of license here, and this is part of what the right brain does, that the R is the second letter. But it has to be said with a West Country bird. 'Tis artistic, as distinct to the left-hand side, that is the scientific side. It's relational, has to do with people, has to do with how things interact with one another, and the left brain tends not to be. It's about rhythm and rhyme and dance and all that sort of creativity. It's risk-taking. It reaches out beyond the bounds of things, doesn't stay tight, just is exploratory, and tends to reach for the stars, says effectively, why not? So here we have an illustration of a rainbow, again beginning with an R, conveniently. So that sense of looking for the pot at the end of the rainbow. It is musical, and also, as we can see through the binoculars here, tends to look to the future, way out there, as distinct to the left brain that looks for the fine detail. And as I said before, says why not, as distinct to no or why. Yeah, do you get this contrast between the two sides? But the two halves work together, like so. And it's this combination that is so powerful. There's a bridge between them. It's called the corpus callosum, but that's what makes it happen. So I hope I've explained to you the brain as simply as I possibly can and indicated what an extraordinary organ it is, but how much it needs these two halves to work together. What follows are a series of films developing this theme: brain, body, and beyond.